Article 208 of the Indian Constitution deals with the rules of procedure for the legislature of a state. It is divided into 3 clauses that outline how these procedures are to be established and followed. Here's an explanation of each clause. Clause 1. This clause empowers each house of the legislature of a state to make its own rules for regulating its procedures and the conduct of its business. These rules must be in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution. Key points. Each house has the autonomy to create its procedural rules. The rules must comply with the overarching framework of the Constitution. Clause 2. This clause provides a transitional arrangement for the rules of procedure. It states that until the new rules are made under Clause 1, the existing rules and standing orders that were in force immediately before the commencement of the Constitution will continue to be effective. These rules pertain to the corresponding legislature of the province before it became a state under the new Constitution. Key points. Existing rules and standing orders continue to apply until new ones are formulated. The Speaker of the Legislative Assembly or the Chairman of the Legislative Council can modify and adapt these existing rules as necessary. Clause 3. In states that have both a Legislative Assembly and a Legislative Council, this clause gives the governor the authority to make rules regarding the procedures for communications between the two houses. However, before doing so, the governor must consult the Speaker of the Legislative Assembly and the Chairman of the Legislative Council. Key points. Applies only to states with a bicameral legislature, both Legislative Assembly and Legislative Council. The governor can create rules for the interaction between the two houses. The governor must consult the Speaker and the Chairman before making these rules. Summary. Article 208 ensures that each state legislature has a clear and flexible framework for regulating its procedures and conducting its business. It allows for continuity by temporarily retaining existing rules, and it provides a mechanism for the governor to ensure smooth communication between the two houses in a bicameral system. This structure supports orderly legislative processes within the states, aligning with the democratic principles outlined in the Constitution. The Constitution of India. Part 6. The States. Chapter 3. The State Legislature. Procedure generally. Article 208. Rules of Procedure. 1. A house of the legislature of a state may make rules for regulating, subject to the provisions of this Constitution, its procedure and the conduct of its business. 2. Until rules are made under Clause 1, the rules of procedure and standing orders in force immediately before the commencement of this Constitution with respect to the legislature for the corresponding province shall have effect in relation to the legislature of the state subject to such modifications and adaptations as may be made therein by the Speaker of the Legislative Assembly or the Chairman of the Legislative Council, as the case may be. 3. In a state having a Legislative Council, the governor, after consultation with the Speaker of the Legislative Assembly and the Chairman of the Legislative Council, may make rules as to the procedure with respect to communications between the two houses.